from Rincon to Aguadilla. Today we celebrate these women. As Lolita once shouted in the middle of our imperial oppressor's house, "Que viva Puerto Rico libre!"
I didn't hear the viva. Que viva Puerto Rico libre!
Viva Puerto Rico libre!
Our next presenter is a poet that we've all known for many years, Rafael Landrón. He's known to many of us for his commitment and contribution throughout the years. Rafael is a poet, a cultural worker, and an educator. He believes in the power of art to overthrow systems of oppression and in a free Puerto Rico, free from U.S. colonialism. Rafael.
All right, how's everybody doing? Good, it's good to be here. It feels good to be in person, no? Yeah. Okay. This one is entitled Blanca nos está llamando. Blanca nos está llamando. Can we heed her call? From the hilltops of Jayuya, where centuries ago we did battle with Spanish invaders. Can we heed her call now, where the new invader has taken over, in the name of democracy, in the name of freedom, where he doesn't even allow you to fly your own flag? Blanca Canales nos está llamando. Every Puerto Rican who believes in justice, the time is right once again to topple an empire. This one who portends to be benevolent, but is nothing but a killer. Stolen lives of our unborn, practicing genocide under Malthusian philosophies of overpopulation. You have killed our unborn by thousands. Blanca Canales nos está llamando. It is time for every Puerto Rican to decide who we are. Descendants of the Taíno Africano or simplemente Español. To those of us who have forgotten or have been brainwashed to believe that your enemy is your benefactor, Blanca te está llamando to remember who you are. To decide to summon your courage, Boricua. To heed her call from the mountaintops of Jayuya. Declare yourself free. Free from capitalism. Free from the Prozac pills and the local U.S. pharmaceutical pushers have convinced you to take. Free from depression. Free from the high rent. Free from the prisons in our minds. Free from the patriarchy that binds. Free from feeling broke all the time. Blanca te está llamando once again. Can we heed her call? To be better, to stand taller, to be righteous and brave, to stand up to the monster of the U.S. empire that is crumbling as we speak. Boricua, will you side with power or justice? Boricua, will you side with empire or who you truly are? Boricua, can you hear the call from Jayuya? Blanca Canales is calling your name to stand up and be counted, to end all the shame, to reject all the lame consumerist items of this McDonald's existence and be free. Boricua, Blanca Canales te está llamando from Boricua to the Bronx, Brooklyn, Boston, all of us. Can we heed her call to end the American empire, to stand against the colonizer who says that we are the same one who's been stealing since 1898? Boricua, Blanca is calling us to learn who we are, to stand up to injustice no matter the cost. From the hills of Jayuya, where we did battle with Español centuries ago, Boricua, defiende lo tuyo. Remember who you are and who you came from. Blanca nos está llamando to use every ounce of our soul to be free. Free of this capitalist bullshit democracy. We're being pimped in war after war as cannon fodder for rich white men. Boricua, learn your history and be free of the rent collector in your mind that makes you kill the children in Afghanistan while the same ones are writing policies to put us in prisons and erect borders and sterilize more poor women who are just trying to find some peace, just like you, Boricua. Blanca Canales is calling you to free yourself from the racism of the mind that is killing you to prove that you're right enough to be an American. Blanca is calling us to rid ourselves of the patriarchy that has us fight and kill our own trans and gay brothers and sisters before going against the real enemy of U.S. colonialism. Boricuas, Blanca Canales nos está llamando to free ourselves of this bullshit, hypocritical, monkey existence. Will we heed her call? Will we heed the call from this educator, social worker to stand up for love and justice? Blanca Canales nos está llamando. Who will listen? Who will take up the mantle of justice?
We will, yes! Woo!
Thank you.
Yes.
The following presenter is a longtime activist and organizer, well-known member of the Puerto Rican Independence Party, the PIP, the branch of New York. The Puerto Rican Independence Party is one of Puerto Rico's oldest independence parties. It has had over 60 years, more than 60 years, of consistently denouncing the colonial situation of Puerto Rico and demanding independence for Puerto Rico, for the archipelago, not just Puerto Rico, the whole archipelago. It has been at the United Nations, it has been at local, national, and international forums. With you, Carmen Ayala.
Mi nombre es Carmen Ayala Dávila y soy pintora puertorriqueña radicada en este vecindario. En esta grandiosa tarde regreso. Mi nombre es Carmen Ayala Dávila, soy pintora puertorriqueña radicada en este vecindario. En esta grandiosa tarde he venido a representar a la mujer titiola en esta actividad. Por tanto, traigo un saludo cordial y afectuoso para todas las personas aquí presentes a nombre de nuestra organización, Comité Partido Independentista Puertorriqueño de Nueva York. Un saludo especial a Pro Libertad, organizadores de este evento, y a todos en general. Nos complace en gran manera poder saludar y compartir con todas estas mujeres que día a día representaron nuestros valores patriotas, nuestra idiosincrasia y nuestra identidad de pueblo. Y nuestra lucha por la soberanía de Puerto Rico.
Hey, how's everything, brother? How's everything? I didn't realize that was you. Wow.
Me neither. It didn't click. It didn't click, you know?
Gotcha. I like that.
Papá. Para la comunidad. Para América.
Just a quick commercial, mi gente. A very quick commercial. Queremos recordar que Cuba y Puerto Rico son las dos patrias que siempre tenemos, tú sabes, relaciones. We're solidarity between Puerto Rico and Cuba. Tomorrow, there is a caravan that's taking place in New York City. You know what, Shep? You know the details, right? Shep, come make that announcement. We have a caravan para Cuba mañana that's taking place in Harlem. We're going to do a quick commercial. Give us the details, Shep. All power to the people.
Power to the people.
Now that ain't it. All power to the people.
Power to the people.
Right on. We're gonna actually start at the Harlem State Office Building. Everybody ready?
Yes or no?
Okay. We're gonna gather there at 1 o'clock. Try to get there at 12:30, but 1 o'clock we're gonna gather. If you have a vehicle, put the Cuba flags on it, put your signs on it. What we want to do is say U.S. out of Cuba, yeah, Puerto Rico too. So we want to end the blockade, get out of Guantanamo Bay, and we have mobilizations between Cuba and the United States. So that's what the caravan is about. Gonna gather there. We're gonna go through our barrio. We're gonna go past the People's Church right over on 111th and Lexington, and there's supposed to be a street festival there. Now we know it might rain tomorrow, but we're gonna, do what we can do. But the caravan will be there. If you don't have signs, we'll have signs for you. Any questions? Tomorrow, Harlem State Office Building, 12:30, 1 o'clock departure through our barrio to end the blockade on Cuba. Viva!
Viva!
Thank you, Brother Chef. Hoy Puerto Rico son de un pájaro las dos alas. Our next speaker is Lorraine Liriano. Lorraine is an educator, a lifelong resident of Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and a member of a call to action on Puerto Rico, an anti-colonial pro-independence organization formed in July 2015. A call to action has organized and sponsored educational forums and events on the colonial situation of Puerto Rico, and has organized and participated in numerous rallies and demonstrations denouncing the colonial imperial relationship of the United States and Puerto Rico. I too am a member of a call to action in Puerto Rico. I'm proud to present my sister, Lorraine Liriano.
Muy buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Muy buenas tardes a todas, todos y todes. Mis camaradas y todas las personas que están aquí, que aman la libertad y la justicia. I'd like to say good afternoon to my comrades. I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone here who loves social justice and peace in this world. It is a pleasure to be here this afternoon with you today in the community of El Barrio, who has a long tradition of social justice, in the presence of so many women who are activists, who have contributed to our social struggle. Es un privilegio estar aquí en El Barrio con una historia tan larga de lucha y de justicia para tantas comunidades y estar entre ustedes hoy día. A call to action was formed in 2015 in response to La Junta Fiscal. Call to action was formed as an anti-capitalist, anti-imperial collective, and we have stood fast in our resolve to continue to struggle for the freedom of Puerto Rico as an anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist identity.
Yes.
These words are dedicated to the legacy of the women that have been in our struggle since before the colonization of Puerto Rico. I want to acknowledge also the indigenous women who fought against the Spaniards. Quiero reconocer a las mujeres indígenas y los pueblos indígenas que aún luchan por su libertad y su justicia social. Our revolution has a soul. It is women. Our revolution has a spirit. It is women. Our revolution has an action. It is women. Our revolution has a wisdom. It is women. Our revolution has been passed to us from generation to generation, from DNA to the blood that runs through our veins. Our revolution is matriarchal. As we turn the pages of time, we are reminded of our power, of our purpose, and of our history. Luisa Capetillo demonstrated our power to organize the working class in Puerto Rico, in Cuba, in Miami, and in New York, and affirmed our internationalism. Dominga Berril de la Cruz showed us love of our country as she rescued the Puerto Rican flag where we were being massacred in 1937 in el Masacre de Ponce. Blanca Canales led our insurrection in El Grito de Jayuya on October 1950. Lolita Lebron commanding congressional space on March 1st, 1954 to declare our Puerto Rican sovereignty. Julia de Burgos, through poetics, brought uprising to our thoughts, juxtapositioned our liberation to land, through el Rio Grande de Luisa. Isabel Rosado Morales showed us that revolution and resistance is a lifetime commitment, as she was arrested for civil disobedience to protest the Navy in Vieques in February 10th, 2014. Aida Luz Rodriguez, in her 10th anniversary as a political prisoner, reminds us we embrace armed tactics and strategy in defense of our future and the integrity of Puerto Rican flora and fauna. We have sacrificed our personal freedom for our motherland. Ahora le voy a leer en español. Gracias por el tiempo. Nuestra revolución tiene arma, es mujer. Nuestra revolución tiene espíritu, es mujer. Nuestra revolución tiene acción, es mujer. Nuestra revolución tiene sabiduría, es mujer. Nuestra revolución ha sido pasado de generación a generación, desde el ADN hasta la sangre que corre en nuestras venas. Nuestra revolución es matriarcal. Mientras damos la vuelta a las páginas del tiempo, nos acordamos de nuestro poder, propósito y historia. Luisa Capetillo nos demostró nuestro poder en organizar la clase obrera en Puerto Rico, Cuba, Miami y Nueva York, y afirmar nuestro internacionalismo. Dominga Berril de Cruz nos demostró el amor a la patria cuando rescató la bandera puertorriqueña durante la masacre de Ponce. Blanca Canares dirigió la insurrección del grito de ayuda el 30 de octubre de 1950. Lolita Lebrón, comandante de la ocupación del espacio del Congreso estadounidense para firmar el derecho a la soberanía puertorriqueña. Julia de Burgos, a través de su poesía, nos trajo los pensamientos de sublevación a nuestros pensamientos en juxtaposición a la liberación de nuestra tierra en Río Grande de Luisa. Isabel Rosado Morales nos enseñó que la revolución y la resistencia es un compromiso de toda la vida, cuando fue arrestada en el acto de desobediencia civil en protesta de las maniobras de la Marina en Vieques el 10 de febrero 2014. Y le dejo con estos pensamientos. Aida Luz Rodríguez, en su 10º aniversario del encarcelamiento en 1994, declaró: nosotros acogemos la lucha armada con estrategia en defensa de nuestro futuro, la integridad de la flora y fauna de Puerto Rico. Nosotros hemos sacrificado nuestra libertad personal para nuestra patria. ¡Que viva Puerto Rico libre!
¡Que viva Puerto Rico
¡Que
libre!
viva Puerto Rico socialista!
¡Que vive!
¡Que viva Puerto Rico feminista! Porque sin nosotros, sin las mujeres puertorriqueñas, no hay revolución, no hay Puerto Rico. Nosotros somos el alma y el corazón de nuestro pueblo. ¡Que viva Puerto Rico!
¡Que viva!
Gracias, Lorraine, como siempre. I have a few announcements, and then we're going to be closing.
Okay.
On April 3rd, next Saturday, we're going to have there's going to be an event called Betances, Compromiso y Constancia. And it's going to be in front of the Roberto Clemente Center on 540 East 13th Street in the Lower East Side, between A and B. That's at 1 p.m. next Saturday, an event commemorating Betances, Compromiso y Constancia, commitment and steadfastness. And there's going to be, the speakers will be Rubén Berríos Martínez, Barrio Padilla Martí, Carmen Ayala Dávila, and Bombayo. Again, in the Lower East Side. Our next is on April 11th in Art Park, Poetry Month Kickoff. That's on 120th in Lexington. On April 11th, Art Park is going to have its Poetry Month Kickoff. If you have any questions, you can ask Debbie Quiñones, standing right here.
Right.
She can answer any more questions you have. And regarding the Betanzas event, you can ask Eddie Ramos, who's standing over there, regarding any questions of the Betanzas event. We're now going to close off this event by inviting Nancy Mercado to read us one last poem. The Art Park poetry reading is from 2 to 4? From 12 to 4. Thank you, Lulu. Thank you, everyone, for coming up. This last piece that I'll read is an environmental piece. As you know, unfortunately, we're really actually destroying the earth, and that goes for Puerto Rico too. There's, Puerto Rico is beautiful, and the factories and industry that's been there, dumped so many chemicals and junk, and there's a big fight in Peñuelas because of the ashes that they're dumping from coal, which is ludicrous because there's no need for that. There's so much sun there. We should be on clean energy. So this piece is titled "I Have Seen," and I dedicate it to Puerto Rico and its beautiful natural beauty. And I want to thank everyone for coming out too. It's great to see everyone. Beautiful day. I have witnessed the demise that is ours, the brutal ways of the minute, the selfishness of zooming wealth. I've seen the land invaded, smashed beyond repair, smelled the air of smokestacks, towering billows of babbling businessmen. I have witnessed bone-ridden children whose flesh seems stretched, almost transparent, falling off lifeless, and know in some small town excess crop burns in the name of profit. I have heard the word of many a gold-laced pasture spewing forth psychological manipulations, digging his own grave with every breath. I have swum in animate oceans blanketed with fish who were my friends, and look up to see a grave hole in the dome that protects us, and wonder how such a great species lies dormant of the mind in things that matter. My eyes see and pity the petty creatures that roam the stock exchanges of the earth. My eyes weep in an effort to understand our foolishness. My eyes search for the natives who were once here, for that which can move wretched tyrants towards knowing the importance of what is invisible. Thank you so much.
Right.